Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Sri Banerjee, Dr. B, and in this recording, I'll be going over the special senses, eyes, and ears. So, we already talked about the general concepts that are a part of the nervous system. We talked about the general sensory and motor innervation that takes place, and we briefly mentioned about neurotransmitters. Now, what takes place specifically within the eyes and the ears is a bit more complex and is related to the corresponding visual and auditory cortices, which are located within the cortex of our brain. So, depending on which special sense we're talking about, for instance, the visual cortex is in a specific location within the brain, and important to note. So, when we're thinking about the special senses and the eyes and ears, there's actually surprisingly about 9 roots that you are dealing with on a regular basis. So eyes is thought of ophthalmos, so ophthalmology, study of eyes, optic or opt. Iris is IR. Lens is PHAK or PHAC. Retina is retino. Lacrimal apparatus, either lacrimal or dacryocyst. Ears is acoust, audio, auditory. Outer, middle versus inner. There's different names for it. So the outer ear is considered the pinna. That's one name, so that's why pin makes sense. The middle ear is meningo or tympano. So the tympanic membrane comprises the vast majority of the middle ear, and the inner ear is labyrintho because of the cochlea being part of the inner ear and actually having the shape of a labyrinth. So the function of the eyes, there's receptor organs of sight, and it receives images and transmits them to the brain. So the rods and the cones take all of these data from the surrounding, feed it to the optic nerve. The optic nerve takes it straight into the visual cortex, and then the visual cortex is responsible for and other associated cortices responsible for interpreting the images and the data that is being fed in through the eyes. So the structure of the eyes is the eyeball and the adnexa, and you can see kind of more what the eye is comprised of. Now, this is a really good visual for the muscles of the eyes, and these muscles are actually responsible for movement of the eye and allowing for better vision wherever you may be wanting to see. Now, here is a pathology of the eyelids and vision. As you can see, there's a lot of swelling that can take place within the eye. And this is a good visual of how there is the optic nerve, which is a bundle at the back of the eye, which goes back into the brain. Now, of course, the ear is a very important special sense as well. So here is a good diagram of the ear, which you should take a little bit of a moment to appreciate and study and see what are all the different types of conditions that can take place. So one of the major common types of conditions that many children get as they're growing is otitis media. Otitis media is simply an earache of the middle ear, which predominantly is due to infection. Sometimes within swimming pools, the traditional history, classic history from this will be a child that went into the swimming pool and after a couple of days developed a pain and infection within the ear. And so this is otitis media. I hope this has provided you with a brief foundation of concepts which from you can build more as you learn and acquire more concepts. If you have any questions from this material, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you for listening.